coupled with the state quality, these two together drive the state's economy. This is true for Odisha, this is true for Andhra Pradesh, this is true for Tamil Nadu, this is true for all states of the country. However, when the union quality support, the central government support joins this engine, then this becomes a double engine of growth. And what is the result? When the state and the central government come together, this helps to drive this economy faster, it becomes larger in a more accelerated way. This is exactly what the Honorable Prime Minister was mentioning when he said that Odisha will be the growth engine of the development of India in the next 25 years, because when Odisha grows faster, its economy is scaled up, it will certainly add to the growth of India. This is what the new Odisha is all about. It is growing economy, not at single speed, but at double speed. And ladies and gentlemen, आपको वो जो डबल स्पीड आपको वो स्टेज पर नजर आ रही है, आप देखिए राज्य सरकार और केंद्र सरकार का जो मिश्रण यहाँ उपलब्ध है वो हमारी स्ट्रेंथ है। पारादीप हो, धामरा हो, गोपालपुर हो, ये स्ट्रेंथ और किसी के पास नहीं है, यही हमारी इकोनॉमी की एडवांटेज है। But where does this geographical advantage in Odisha come from? What is it that is unique about the geography of Odisha? Odisha is a mineral-rich coastal state. It is rich in minerals. It is also coastal. There are states in India, for instance, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, which are equally rich in minerals, but they are not coastal. There are states in India which are coastal, for instance, Tamil Nadu, but they are not mineral-rich. This is the geographical advantage of Odisha. Double geographical advantage of Odisha, which has given us the current advantage. See, look at the coastal status of Odisha. We have 3 operational ports, Paradip, Dhamra and Gopalpur, and 2 upcoming ports. Along all these ports, we have very well developed industrial regions which are ready to move in industrial plots varying in different sizes with factory gate availability of water, power and connectivity. We are within 6 hours to 50% of the world's economy in the Southeast Asian region. The ports in the western part of India are closer to Europe and Americas. The ports on eastern part of India, for instance in Odisha, bring you closer to the Southeast Asian nations, Indonesia, Vietnam, Japan, Korea, Singapore. This part of the world which is growing at even a faster rate. This is the coastal geographical advantage of Odisha. The other advantage of Odisha in terms of mineral resources, we are excessively rich in minerals. We have 25% of India's iron ore, India's coal, 35% of India's iron ore, almost half of India's bauxite and manganese, and almost the entire chromite and nickel of India. What does this mean for us? It means that if you look at this map of Odisha, you will notice that these minerals are spread across the geography of Odisha. Unlike many other parts of India where such minerals are existing only in very dense 1 or 2 locations, these minerals in Odisha are spread out, which means extraction is easier, extraction is possible. Therefore, this is our geographical advantage. And most important, ladies and gentlemen, is the rare earths. We are blessed with rare earths. This provides the next generation materials like titanium, and which is what is known as the wonder metal of the next 25 and 50 years. Odisha is the only state in the country which is blessed with this resource. We have used this advantage to set up a very large complex of metallurgical industry. Largest producer of steel, stainless steel, aluminium, ferroalloys, all kinds of ferroalloys, very large producer of coal-based thermal power, and a very large producer of cement. Coal from Odisha lights up 80% of India's households. We account for 80% of India's thermal power generation, which is dependent on the coal which comes from Odisha. Again, take a look at this map of Odisha and compare it with the previous map. We have very intelligently set up our industry complex of metallurgy, where our minerals are. Seamless connectivity from our mineral regions and to our industrial zones and to our ports. More importantly, there is incremental investment happening in all our metallurgy. Steel will go up from 40 to 100, 160. Stainless steel will almost double up. Alumina and aluminium are also growing. What does this mean for people like me? What does this mean for people in the chemicals industry? It actually, the next wave of growth in Odisha in metallurgy is not only in more steel, more aluminium, more alumina, But in the ancillaries, the chemical, the chemistry, the mechanical goods, the capital goods which drive this large metallurgical complex. And no wonder you would notice that while we have Tata Steel, we have JSW, we have JSPL, we have KMNS, large steel producers, we also have sophisticated European companies and multinational companies who service this complex, whether it is SMS or Danieli or Boras, or whether it is PYK from Japan, whether it is Magna from Spain, whether it is Caltris from France, or Polymer from France. These are companies which have chosen Odisha to service this large emerging metallurgical and metals complex. To make 1 ton of aluminium, you need today 800 kilograms of different chemicals. 18 different chemicals, 800 kilograms, except one, CPC, calcined petroleum coke. None of them is made in, not only in India. Each one of them has to be imported from one country and did not name that country. What is it that we have done? We have invited companies to make these chemicals. Today we have Anurag Chaudhary from Hemant Chemicals, who is setting up one of the largest chemicals complex in India, in Odisha, to service this complex. We have SMS from Germany, who have set up one of the largest steel rollers making complex in Odisha, and I can go on and on, and this is an emerging opportunity for people in the chemical sector. In chemicals, petrochemicals, plastics, our driver is the PCPIR. We owe our chemicals and petrochemical story to Indian Oil Corporation, which chose Odisha as their location, as the prime location in Eastern India, and now it is a growing story. And it is not limited, ladies and gentlemen, to the IOCL. We have IFCO, we have Paradip Phosphates, we have the new age companies like Samcor, Renew, Kiri Industries. We have Mr. Manish Kiri from Gujarat, who has come all the way from Gujarat to set up a complex in Paradip in association with IOCL. So this growth story of chemicals anchored on the IOCL's investment is actually happening. Again, Epigraph from Gujarat, and also the new age companies like Avada, Eternis, Petro, Osio, Shalimar Paints, Himadri I already mentioned, and Berger Paints. Today, Berger Paints is setting up its largest factory in Odisha. SSIL is setting up its largest factory in Odisha. Why? Because of this chemicals and petrochemicals advantage. On the plastics front, whether it is Astral or Supreme, Syntex or Epsilon, all of them have new and additional complexes coming up in Odisha riding on this chemicals wave. The Paradip region has already been explained by my colleague Mr. A.S. Sahni. It is a large IOCL complex. Apart from IOCL, there are other industries. Most important is that not only the ready feedstock would be available, raw material would be available, the infrastructure availability again. We have given 2,200 acres of land to IOCL and are setting up another 5,000 acres of petrochemical complex by the state government, ready to move in industrial plots with factory gate availability of water, power and connectivity. And today, on the occasion of this MOU, we would be launching a special scheme for this, which I will mention towards the end. Paradip Port is an added advantage. The network of pipelines and corridors again is an advantage. This is repeated in our textiles, technical textiles and apparel, where we have the advantage. We started with the garment and apparel sector, whether it is Shahi or Jockey or First Steps, Vast from Sri Lanka, Epic from Hong Kong, Wild Lotus from Odisha, Torre from Japan, Atom Group from Mauritius, Wells Fund from Gujarat, and Indorama from Thailand. All these companies have already agreed to set up. Some of them have already started construction on their plants. So this is across this value chain. Look at this value chain from apparel to fabric to textiles and to yarn. Across this value chain, very intelligently, very professionally, we are developing this ecosystem and tremendous opportunities for people like you. These four drivers these enablers are what distinguish Odisha from other places. Our best-in-class industrial policy, the infrastructure, the facilitation, and the skilled workforce. Our industrial policy 2022 categorizes chemicals and petrochemicals as the priority and first sector, which means that you are entitled to highest level of incentives. A chemical plant in Odisha, vis-a-vis any other plant in India, a textile, apparel, garment plant in India, vis-a-vis in Odisha, vis-a-vis any plant in India, has the advantage of additional 7.2% EBITDA gain only because of the incentives which we provide. And since we are a fiscally responsible state, a financially well-managed state, we are also able to honor our commitments on incentives. Industry-ready infrastructure, just look carefully at this map, very easily you will understand. First is our coastal region, the National Highway 16, which connects Kolkata with Chennai. Our ports are on this national highway, and we have very well developed industrial areas along this national highway. Then we have the Western Economic Corridor, which is our borders with Jharkhand and with Chhattisgarh. Again, very well developed industrial areas along this coastal line, along this Western highway. Then we have the Central Highway, which connects this coastal region with the Western region. Again, very well developed industrial areas along this highway. This completes our industrial infrastructure ecosystem. This is the photograph of our Honorable Industries Minister. He is on stage. I think you can recognize him with this photograph, where we were ranked top achiever state in ease of doing business ranking recently by the Government of India. One single application, 54 clearances from 18 departments in 30 days. It is our commitment, and we have examples in this hall of industries who have actually achieved this. This is an example of our speed of doing business. After the Honorable Chief Minister took office, in the last 9 months, we have conducted 11 numbers of meetings. 9 months, 11 meetings, 187 projects have been approved for 4,48,000 crore and 2,81,000. Just look at these photographs at the bottom. On the right hand side, you would see this is the foundation stone ceremony of Nestle, India's largest food processing plant of Nestle. Not Odisha's largest, India's largest, but started on 3rd of April. In the intervening, you have 14 numbers of companies foundation stone ceremony on 3rd of April in one go by our Honorable Chief Minister and Industries Minister. This is just one example of the speed of doing business. Inox. Mr. Devansh Jain is here. 6th of January, he applied. It was approved by HLCA. On 4th of April, the letter of confirmation for allotment of land was given to Inox. 60 working days for 71 acres of land. This is the speed of our state government. Jupiter Dragons, a company from Kolkata. 24th November 2025, project was approved by the Honorable Chief Minister. 12th of February 2025, letter was allotted. And 3rd of April, work actually started on the ground, the photograph which I showed you. 60 working days for 40 acres of land. Sova Solar, other company. 17th January, project was approved by the Chief Secretary. 20th March, allocation of land, less than 60 working days for 30 acres of land. This is the speed of our doing business. World-class industrial ecosystem with ITIs, polytechnics or engineering colleges. Most importantly for the chemical industry, we have set up the Institute of Chemical Technology, the Skill Development Institute, and CTEC 4 branches. And this, I have no words to thank our Honorable Union Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhanji. These 3 institutions were his brainchild. It is his contribution to the government of Odisha. Last slide, ladies and gentlemen, just look at this map. This is the map of India. You have heard about Purvodaya. What exactly is this Purvodaya? This is the map of East-Northeast India. Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Andhra, Assam, and the Northeast. This is 50 crores of India's population. 1/3 of India's population is in this region. That is why this region is important, ladies and gentlemen. That is why our Honorable Prime Minister talks of Purvodaya. Look where Odisha is placed in this region. Odisha is in the center of this region. You can make in Odisha and sell in this entire east and northeast. That is why we say that when Purvodaya begins, the concept of Purvodaya, the development of the eastern region will actually begin from Odisha. Today, we are launching a special Delhi Dhamaka offer. This Delhi Dhamaka offer is for PCPIL of Paradip, where we have 2,000 acres of land. We are launching this scheme today in the august presence of the dignitaries. 30 acres of land in 30 days, 50 acres of land in 50 days, 100 acres of land in 100 days, with factory grade availability of water, power and connectivity. If you are interested, kindly take note of these numbers. We are here for